Willkommen. Hello, hello. We're here. Yes. And we are talking about lead magnet magic. So, lead magnets, we're going to go through just some real, basics. I know a lot of you already know what a lead magnet is, a freebie that people sign up to get on, your newsletter. It's the beginning of a funnel, all of that good stuff. So, let's try to make this time as magical as possible. And I would love if you have questions or thoughts, or if you want to tell us like what lead magnets that you have going on now or that you've done in the past, what's worked for you. Tell me in the comments. Say hello and hi, Chris. Yahoo! She's number one winner. I love that randomizer. It's so fun. Like I just put everybody's entries in and just hit a button and it just spits it out. So, congratulations for being number one wiener in the Mythic Underground giveaway, which by the way, that was so much fun to do and so easy. It was, I could have maybe been a little more complicated about it to try to get even more people, but I think I had like 9 or 10 entries, which for me was just fabulous and got people excited, got people hearing about, my stuff, new people, people that have been in my world. So I definitely highly recommend doing a giveaway and a contest at some point to promote something you're offering. It's really, really fun and easy. So, yippee! I know, right? The universe said you, girl. Said you. It had nothing to do with me. In case anybody, I always wonder if people think I'm just picking people. It's like, no, it's all in a randomizer. And then for anybody that didn't actually win the top three, the top prize was 21 days in the Mythic Underground and 3 live calls with the group. But for those that didn't make the top three, I'm giving all of those lovely ladies 7 days in the portal to just look at all the stuff and then um, the first live call. So 1 live call. And so I felt like that was a good consolation prize, right? I think that's super fun for my ladies. And it just again, it brings some extra energy into the offering, which again, it just makes everything more magnetic when you feel good, when you're happy, when you have other people who feel good and are happy, all doing the same thing, right? And so, oh, thank you, Chris. Yeah, I do think it's generous, and why not, right? It's all part of the fun of being in business is to offer and to give and also to receive, right? And I do. I receive so much. So, yay to all the winners because everybody won. They won something. If you engaged with me, I made sure you are walking away with something luscious and yummy because that's just how I roll. And how do you roll? Let's talk about how you roll with lead magnets. So, Chris, tell us in the comments if you can. And I think I see that there was a second person here or a third person here. Um, it's hard for me to tell. So, yeah, tell us in the comments what you're doing for a lead magnet, or if you haven't done one yet, all of the good things. Let us know. And I will go back and forth reading the comments and then going through this presentation. So a lead magnet is just another word for the funnel or the beginning of your funnel, a freebie, something that you're offering as an exchange for someone's email and name and whatever other information you want to get from them, right? It's like, I'll give you this if you give me this. So it already sets up a reciprocal relationship, which is great. So You haven't done one yet and you really want to. Awesome. So they're so fun. There's so many different things you can do, Chris, with your business as belly dance and spirituality, women's empowerment, all those things that you weave together in your teachings. You can do, you could do three different lead magnets, or you could do a lead magnet with maybe those three elements incorporated in it. So, looking at when you look at your brand, so this is great. I love having someone to work with as an example because it's so much easier to explain things. Otherwise, it all is kind of theoretical and like, okay, I don't really get it. Um, yeah, offering free stuff in the past, but you didn't do it in a way to get something back. So let's talk about kind of some of the most important thing about what a lead magnet should do. So we talk about a funnel. It's like this, just like, you know, I got to do the hands like the funnel, the funnel. Um, I know I'm in a happy, goofy mood today. Um, basically, obviously, like I said, there's a reciprocal relationship that is set up where you are in this very much aligned relationship with a potential client. So that being said, they signed up for your lead magnet because they want or need something you have to give. They need a result or desire a result that you are promising in your lead magnet. So, lead magnets, you have to kind of reverse engineer a little bit. No one really ever taught me this, so I'm glad that I have a chance to, like someone like Chris who hasn't done it yet, and can basically start off doing it the right way. So you want to think about what, obviously you have offers. So maybe the offer is for a membership in your portal, your belly dance portal. Um, yeah, I mean, you could give me some other examples. I mean, I know you also do classes, but a lead magnet obviously could definitely drive people into your classes if they're local, right? But for like kind of the larger picture of your business, um, for you, Chris, in particular, would be getting people into your online program. And I know you kind of do also a hybrid version of that where you have people that are live and on the membership, live class and membership, which is great. I think the way you've set everything up is really amazing. So, anyways, so you want to look at the offer that you want to lead people towards, right? And what are the elements of that? What is the, and then we're also wanting to remember to lead with, lead our lead magnet with what are the results that they want? What is the return on investment that they want? And, for me, it's, business stuff, it's mostly about I want more clients and more money, right? And I want to learn how to do marketing the right way. I want to learn how to do marketing in an aligned, really like illuminated way and not sleazy crap, right? So that's why people come to me. So you have to like first look at, okay, so I'm going to pretend I'm Chris because no one can be Chris except for Chris. Um, my people, and if you want to, you can put in the comments what the results that your people are looking for, what they want, right? So I want to feel beautiful. I want to love my body. I want to feel free in my body, whatever it is. You probably have, a lot of testimonials. So a lot of times it's great to gather those testimonials before you do your lead magnet. and really look at all of the feedback and the words that your clients are actually using to describe your work, to describe working with you. The more you can use their words, that's like gold, right? Which is why I tell people try to get testimonials every time you do any little thing, little class, whatever it is. Um, in fact, I may ask you guys for testimonials after this. Just what was your aha moment? So gather up all of the praise. Sometimes the people just leave you comments in your Facebook feed or whatever, or on Instagram, and you can use all of that. Look at how people talk about your work, even your whatever you're putting on for marketing, because people are affected by all of that. It moves them so much, right? Um, so your lead magnet needs to address those results that they want. And it should not satisfy completely. So in other words, you want to leave what's called an open loop. So for, let's say, she's creating a funnel that has a lead magnet that will get people to sign up for her membership. Or maybe it's a trial membership. Maybe it's a 5-day trial membership, or maybe it's a discounted membership, or maybe it's not discounted at all. It's just whatever it is. She's offering 6-month or 12-month, 3-month, whatever it is. Oh my God, my brain is a little bit like wild today. It's funny. I was hoping for sun. It looks like it's cloudy, and maybe that's what's affecting me. And also, we've got the full moon coming, and that always makes me like I download things really quickly, and so then trying to like get my brain to like laser in and focus is a little bit hard. Okay. So they want all these results, probably that have to do with their body, embodiment, feeling free. And some people, it's also just, I want to learn how to belly dance. I mean, they may not even really know why. They may just be drawn to it, right? So maybe her lead magnet is like an inspiring, PDF with maybe a link to like one of her like little 3-minute tutorials of just like, here's how to do a shimmy. Here's how to do a shimmy and a hip drop or whatever, you know what I mean? So she's going to pick, something like that, and then maybe walk them through. She could even do like a video of just an easy 3-minute movement meditation using very simple belly dance principles, right? And the thing is, what you want to do is to get them to just, number one, get to know you even better and totally fall in love with you, and then want everything that you have to offer. That's part of it, right? But also getting them to really visualize, oh my God, I could really do this, right? So you wouldn't give them a 1-hour workshop on how to do Mayas, right? Because it's going to be too hard for them, and they're not going to have the skills set to get there. So um, it needs to kind of reflect on where they're at. Now, the other side of this is that you may have a particular part of your audience that's not beginners, and maybe they would be a really great, you know, a great match to your membership, because there's like, I know that you have a lot of intermediate classes in there, and there's probably some advanced choreo and all of this. So hopefully I'm making sense, right? So you might actually do 2 different lead magnets and have 2 different funnels. Um, I don't know, let me know if that makes sense. Your membership is your main focus right now, Chris. Yeah, and your joyful spirit and fun atmosphere in classes, and moving the same way I do is another one. Moving the same way I do. I think you're saying moving the same way you do. Okay. You could do one for each membership level. So, I mean, you could, do a quiz where you ask them questions, and then at the end of the quiz, they would, talking about feedback from people. So maybe then after that part of the quiz, they would, now you would need to have a sophisticated system. So if in your lead magnet series, if in the quiz they pick intermediate level, that's kind of where they come out, versus someone who just wants to do it for fun and joy. You know what I mean? You might, yeah. So I wouldn't say, I don't think you need to do one for each membership level. I would do one more that's for intermediate people that are like serious, or even beginners that are serious, like they really want those skill levels to increase, versus somebody who is, I'm just here for the fun, I'm here for the juice, I'm here for the magic of Chris and Belly Dance Land, right? I would, you could do one for each membership level, but maybe let's start a little simpler, right? But again, I may not know your audience. I don't know your audience as well as you do, so that might be way off. So again, this is like my hypothetical version of how I would visualize your lead magnet. Does that make sense? And how do you feel about that? Yeah, simpler. Simpler, always better. Yeah. So someone who's there for the juice, the feeling, the joy, and then someone who's there for all those things but really wants to be a good dancer, have that skill, improve their skill set. So there's really, I think those are the two that you could really work. And what's nice is you could do one lead magnet for that. And how I would set that up is, you probably wouldn't even need a quiz. I'm not sure what you're using, but you can do some kind of a segmentation. How I do segmentation is like once I get the lead magnet. So the lead magnet you could offer. Again, I like this idea, for someone that really just wants the juice of like some kind of a movement meditation where you get them kind of like how you used to do the very beginning of class for the belly dance fit class that you used to do. That was like one of my favorite parts of the class, was just that very beginning, like coming into the body, right? And visualizing and then just moving slowly. Like I feel like that like would be something you could create so easily, and that would be great. And then maybe if there's someone who is more advanced, you could offer, in that same lead magnet, even if you'd love a sample of, a technique class or 3 minutes of technique, click here. And then so some of the beginners might want that too, right? Some of them like, hey, I want to try it. So it wouldn't be like again, you don't really want to do a full class, not even a half hour. I would say keep it under 10 minutes for each thing if you're creating two different things. Yeah, Belly Fit, it was really fun. You have MailChimp. Yeah, so what you could do is, at the end of your lead magnet, as far as, and also the other part of a lead magnet is there's at least 5 emails that need to go out. Yeah, a mini combo would be great. So in a mini combo, could you show like, here's the simplified version, here's the intermediate version? Again, so you don't have to make so many separate things. So a mini combo could, start with like the movement meditation. So that would be one video. And then you go into a combo. It's like, okay, here's how you do this. And if you want to be challenged, do it this way. Maybe you could do it like that. So you need to have emails that do certain things. So the first email of a lead magnet is always just basically a delivery, so even if they've signed up for your lead magnet and then it takes them directly to the page or whatever it is where they have all the stuff, you still need to send them an email like right after. So it's zero, when you're setting up your funnel and your email sequence, you want that first email to go out right away. Here's the link to da 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 da. And so happy you're here, more of like a welcoming, fun, light, okay. And then the next day, you kind of, at this point, can talk a little more deeply about, maybe how long you've been teaching, like teaching belly dance in Chris's thing. And you want to remind them, so day 2 or 3 after they get that, after they sign up, you want to send them a reminder to get them to actually do what's in the lead magnet. What is the action they should do? The third email is what we call like a case study email. So it would be like your story, Chris, or whoever is here creating their lead magnet. You would talk about how your life was transformed through belly dance, and you don't want it super long. It's not like a 10 years long email, but it's basically, so okay, so you could either do your case study, your story for the third email, or one of your clients. All right. The fourth email is something really inspirational. So something that really has inspired you to continue on in this work, something that, you love. So maybe this is something more along the lines of your spirituality, of empowering women. So it would be like a story about yourself, like just an experience you had, and kind of maybe adding some vulnerability, right? So that's email number 4, is like my story, vulnerable. And there's no call to action. So on the third email, after you use your case study, the call to action should be join my membership platform free for 7 days. Or maybe it's a call with you, whatever it is. Everybody, depending on their business model, is going to have a different call to action. So the first 2 emails really are about call to action, is do what's in the lead magnet. The third one is case study with call to action, buy the thing, try the thing, book a call, whatever. The fourth email is no call to action. It's just about inspiring them with a vulnerable story that inspires them to, again, envision and imagine themselves with you in this work, feeling like a goddess and doing the dance or whatever it is. So the fifth email is usually, again, a case study. Here are the results so-and-so got. And now try it. And the CTA is whatever it is you want to service you're trying to get them to try or to talk to you about, to sell them into. Does that make sense? Okay. Let me see. Yeah, Chris, let me know if you have any questions about what we just covered. I'm going to look over my notes real quick. So yeah, I mean, there's so many different kinds of emails. Okay, good question. So, so the first one is 0 right after they sign up. The email 2 probably should be the next day or the day after. Email 3 is 5 days later. Email 4 is day 7. And then email 5 would be day 8, the day after. So you don't want them super far apart. But you don't want to email them 5 days in a row either. They're going to unsubscribe probably. They'll be like, okay, this is too intense. This person's like love bombing me, right? Okay, you're welcome. Oh, the sun is starting to peek out. I'm going to be a happy woman in a minute. I need the sun lately, big time. I like that face. The spinning eyes are like, oh my gosh. Is this a lot to take in? Let me know if it is. Yeah, because I kind of like to just give a download and let's do it. But it's been really, I'm so glad you're here, Chris, because then I'm just going to be talking about my own lead magnet, which is kind of like, I don't know. I think that's a little boring. Boring for me, at least. It might not be boring for you. So yeah, those are, so a lead magnet could be a quiz, could be a series of videos, it could be meditations. And I think lead magnets are more interesting when it's a variety of things, right? You're ready to unsubscribe because of too many emails. Yeah. But here's the thing, the people that you really love to hear from and that you enjoy hearing from, even if they email you a lot, you're like, ooh, what do they have to say? I mean, there's some days where I'll read the headline. It's like, yeah, I'm not interested in this, and then I'll just delete it. But you're lucky to be here with me. I'm lucky to be here with you, goddess. It's so awesome. Again, yeah, it really is helpful to me to have someone to use as work with as an example, and then hopefully you could walk away with something good. So lead magnet, there's so many different ways to do it. Now, when we talk about emails, we want to remember that the most important part of an email, like I just said, is the subject line. And is the subject line using keywords that come out of the results they're going to get? Definitely you want to have use emojis in your subject lines. You want to use questions. Hook questions are great. Or whatever statements. Because that's going to determine if someone's going to open that email. Now, there's some people that I'll open anything from them, and it doesn't matter what their subject line says, because I just want to know what they're doing and what they have to offer, because I'm like all ready to go. But, you know, you remember the lead magnet, a lot of these people may be very new to your world. This is basically their way to get to know you, to trust you, and like you even more than they did when they signed up. And there is, you know, in marketing, there is the this data that says people need from 11 to 17 touch points before they will buy from you. 11 to 17, that's a lot. So that doesn't mean it has to all be emails, but if you have a lead magnet, the lead magnet itself is a touch point. Your 5 emails, that makes 6 touch points. So you still need 5 more touch points, right? Some people decide to do it all with email. I like to make sure people know about my social media stuff. They know where to find me on TikTok. So that could be also part of your lead magnet series. What some people do is they do like a 5 to 6 or 7 email lead magnet and then take them into like just a main nurturing system that is connected to just when anybody signs up for the newsletter, the regular newsletter. So depending on the sophistication of the system you're using to build your funnel, you could take them from the lead magnet last email, and once they get through that, then You wait a couple weeks and then start sending them the regular nurturing sequence, and that could be another 5 to 7 emails. So then you would have those amount of touch points to get them comfortable with you to sell their stuff. I mean, just to buy your stuff. Yeah, social media works, but they have to know where to find you. So you have to tell them if you have a free group, like I have this free group, so this is a touch point. And if I do, if I come in live, if I do posts, every single thing is a touch point and gets people closer to the place where they either want to buy from me or, get to know me more or not. Again, it's all about the energy behind, and we talked a lot about this in our, last week in our the series that we did, the mermaid monetizing map. So the nurturing sequence I'm not going to cover today because I'm probably going to jump off in a minute, but that's a good idea. So that would be email marketing, which is a little bit, a nurture sequence. Is kind of, it's a little bit more generalized, right? Because your lead magnet is for a very specific offer. The email list is for kind of, it's a little bit bigger. I mean, obviously we could segment within your email marketing, but yeah, so the nurturing sequence, again, is just, it could be educational, belly dance stuff, inspirational, educational, edutainment, so they're being entertained. Yeah, I'm in the process of going to be doing mine. So my nurturing sequence was really what I figured out was really part of my lead magnet. So I moved that over. So I don't really have a nurturing sequence for people that just sign up for my newsletter right now. Yeah. Well, again, for the nurturing sequence, it's about showing how you work, showing, why you're also really qualified to be their teacher, right? Why you're qualified to be a mentor for them in your field. Um, Again, and you could use case studies very similar to what we did with the lead magnet. So like for your membership lead magnet, you could definitely do case studies from people that have been in your membership. That would probably be the best thing. And then maybe a couple of people from your classes. If that makes sense. And, again, open loops, keeping an open loop is remembering that you're not there just to deliver a lead magnet to them. You know that there's more to it, that this, for example, for you, an open loop would be like, it's great, you got this, you did the combo, and, remember that this is something you need to do every week. You know what I mean? You don't say it like that, but you know what I mean. You want to be really inspiring them to want to continue to do this for themselves, whatever it takes to say that. And again, this is something you could talk to like some of your best clients about, people that have been in your classes for a while, is like really like, what is it about me and this that keeps you coming back? What is it? How are you showing up for yourself? You know what I mean? And that will help you figure out how to write a lot of this stuff. Okay, my dears. Well, thank you for showing up, Chris. I think there was someone here earlier. I don't know what happened, but people are busy a lot of times at this time of the day. And sending love to all of you. And I will be back. I have some ideas for some different kind of business activations that I want to do. Um, so I canceled, I had a Q3 planning, but I'm actually teaching a Venus cycles and your business workshop for $47 or two payments of 25. And that's starting July 13th. It's a 3-day workshop for like an hour to an hour and 15 minutes for each session. So I'm not really going to do planning, but maybe what I'll do is do like a quarterly. Yeah, I mean, it could be like a planning where we just talk about what you're doing within your business for the quarter, and just if you guys want to ask me questions, it could be kind of a Q&A as well. But I want to do more of like an activation, really activating our energies together to feel really lit up and feel just super motivated to like go do these things, because lead magnets, this is not a glamorous thing to do, right? This is like, to me, lead magnets have always felt like drudgery, but it's the one thing you absolutely need to have in your business to be sustainable and to keep bringing in new clients. Yes, Chris, working with Venus. You are in the Venus soaked business, which I still have to finish that booklet. There's one page that needs to be redesigned because Amazon wouldn't print it. Like, this was like a year ago. So she's coming back. And I might actually even use some of that material from that class to use in the Venus cycles in your business. But I'm really going to go into Venus retrograde and how to really work that energy in your business, because Venus is love, beauty, and money. She's money too, right? And self-worth. And self-worth and money, we know those two twins like to dance together a lot. Okay, so I will be back. I'm going to make some events in here so you guys kind of know when and where we're going to be doing stuff. And I can't wait. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chris. Much love to y'all.